No. Come on. Where are you, you son of a monkey? Oh, Jesus! Yeah, Dad?
Son, we need more light.
6 days and 6 nights. This is how long it took God to go from here to here. Pretty impressive. Like you can't even clean your room in 6 days. But God? God created light and dark, heaven and earth, and with each day that passed, his suffering server expanded from the birds above to the beasts below. Now, how did God do this? Magic? No. Science? Stop it. Bartering? Blasphemy. God simply used his greatest strength, his voice.
Let there be birds!
I've made a huge mistake. Thor has his hammer, Zeus his lightning, and Yahweh the Word, the subtlest yet mightiest of the weapons. And God used the Word to create the universe, a dome-like structure with land, seas, skies, and everything in between. Yet something was still missing. Something important. For although the beasts and the birds are beautiful, they're still beasts.
Sit!
And so God realized he needed a new creature, an evolved creature to govern these domains, a shepherd to rule the seas, and a champion to rule the skies. And being God, he could create with just about anything. The word, some herbs, even just the earth. So God reached down from his mighty cloud and grabbed a great handful of dust. The crusty earth moved between his palms as he took a deep breath in and blew. Where am I? What am I? Your man, my finest creation. Who are you? I'm God. What's God? It's complicated. What's complicated mean? It means I've made another huge mistake. From dust came God's best and worst creation, man. Made in God's likeness and image, man was the perfect vessel to govern God's domain, and govern he would. And with the universe given shape and life given a home, God let out a deep, exhausted breath. For the 7th day had come, and it was finally time for him to rest. So God closed his eyes and fell into a deep, long, undeserved slumber. Wake up! Oh, what time is it? Oh, shit! Monday had come, and there was work to do. So God approached this man, Adam, and blessed him with a green thumb. For Adam would be assigned the task of gardener, tending to Eden and all the chores that it entailed. Trim the bush, talk to the trees, murder the berries. But perhaps most important, Adam would be given the job of namer, responsible for assigning titles to each and every creature in the world, from the beasts of burden to the foul fowls. An important job, but a difficult job, as there are a lot of animals. Spotted longneck, horn dog. Adam, are you even trying to come up with good names anymore? Spare me, God. Not all of us can create the universe in 6 days. I've been at this 4 months with nothing but berries to keep me going. Do you know what my shit looks like? Well, yes, I do.
I'm God.
Adam named everything and anything in existence. That, this, those. It took a long time, but it was worth it. Oh, was it worth it? Yet something was still missing. Something important. For as God looked down upon Adam, a new emotion entered the universe. Pity. God saw Adam and felt sadness, because although Adam ruled the beasts, he was not among the beasts. He could never be their friend.
Hey, you horn dog, you wanna go get some berries? Alright.
So to remedy this problem of loneliness, God would need a piece of Adam. For this new being must be something familiar, yet different. More than a beast, but less than a god. And so God would put Adam under a spell, causing him to fall into a deep slumber. This allowed the Lord to perform the first ever instance of surgery, as God would take out his scalpel to take out Adam's rib.
What happened? Hey, what's up, Adam? Is that my... Oh, you thought this was... Oh, what do you think? I'm some sort of beast? Oh, that's your rib.
God would take the rib of Adam and from this create woman, whom he named Eve. She was of Adam, and Adam was of her. It was the ultimate union, and now God was happy because Adam was happy. Not that kind of happy.
Please forgive me, God.
So God instructed them to continue tending to his garden and enjoy the fruits of their labor. Literally.
Genetically modified. Thanks, science. I mean, God.
Every tree and every bush was theirs to indulge, except one. One tree that should never, ever be touched. That tree, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Sounds delicious. But apparently, if consumed, its fruits would surely be lethal. I thought knowledge was power, but apparently it's poison.
Oh. It's supposed to be called a rhinoceros.
Adam and Eve continued to live blissfully in the garden, obeying God's one rule. The tree perked their curiosity, but they put it out of their minds by eating berries, hugging trees, and shamelessly frolicking naked. Life was good, until one fateful day, a great trickster would walk into the garden and sow seeds of deceit. For it was the serpent, the snake, the deceiver, who found the innocent Eve all by herself, and like any trickster, preyed on her naivete, saying,
Oh my God, this fruit is delicious. Eve, come try this. What are you doing? You can't eat that. God said you'll die. What are you talking about? I'm eating it right now.
The serpent convinced Eve to pluck the forbidden fruit from the tree, calling God a liar and a deceiver, saying the fruit would not kill them, but rather make them like God. So Eve brought the fruit to Adam, and they ate. And as the fruit entered their body, their third eye was awoken, and they became ashamed.
Oh, shit. I'm naked. And God's been watching me? That perv.
Adam and Eve realized they were naked, so they immediately covered themselves with some leaves, some very small leaves, because it was very cold. And lo, just as the last leaf was placed, they heard God calling out to them, searching for a conversation, saying,
Adam? Eve? You guys want to hang out?
God called out to his children, yet they hid from him. ashamed of their nakedness and fearful of his wrath. But this camouflage couldn't fool the all-seeing eyes of the Lord, who found them and confronted them about their now suspiciously leaf-covered bodies, saying,
"What the fuck is this piece of shit?"
And so the jig was up. God knew they had eaten the fruit, and like a disappointed parent, laid out their punishment. To Adam, he forced a change of diet, cursing the very ground beneath him. No longer would Adam be given free handouts, as he would be required to toil in the field and sow his own yield with blood, sweat, and tears, the best mixture to grow crops. And to Eve, God gifted the most painful punishment of all, childbirth. But the greatest punishment of all was left for the snake. The impetus for all this tragedy and all my suffering. God had a special punishment, saying,
"Serpent, I curse thee to forever crawl on thy belly and eat the dust of the earth. And your mouth will be super dry, and it's gonna be weird and painful and uncomfortable. And mankind shall revile thee. It's done!"
So, like, am I just supposed to lay here?
the snake would forever be cursed to slither on his belly and eat the dust of the earth, while Adam and Eve were cast from the garden, never to return. The Garden of Eden would forever be sealed off from mankind by two angels called cherubim, giant winged monstrosities, far from the angels one might imagine. Years passed, and Adam and Eve had two sons, Cain the elder and Abel the younger. Cain was a farmer, while Abel a shepherd. And one day, Adam and Eve came to their sons and said,
Hey, you guys need to, make a sacrifice to God. But why? I don't know. Why do we make sacrifices to God? Because if I'm gonna do it, we're all gonna do it.
Now there are two types of sacrifices, an acceptable sacrifice and a rejected sacrifice. Acceptable sacrifices yield rain, crops, and prosperity, while rejected sacrifices lead to famine, floods, and fun times. But what makes a sacrifice acceptable versus unacceptable? Resistance. It must be something you don't wish to sacrifice. The last thing you want to give should be the first thing you give, and this will differ from person to person. For him, it may be this. For me, it might be that. And for you, it's definitely that. But all that matters is that it matters to you.
Oh, not another PlayStation. Michael?
Yo, what's up?
Put it on eBay with the rest of them. And mark it up.
Now, Abel understood this law of the universe, and so he surveyed his most prized possessions and decided to sacrifice his best lamb. Everyone knows God's favorite meal is lamb. But Cain was confused. He couldn't understand why Abel would give up something of actual value. It's just wasteful. Why not give a sickly lamb or a copy of Friends? God probably won't know the difference. So Cain surveyed his own possessions and found the perfect sacrifice.
No. 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 Oh. Perfect.
Cain decided it was a great idea to sacrifice some old, disgusting fruit because he wasn't planning on having it anyway. And so each boy grabbed their respective sacrifice and met at the altar of flames to pay their penance to God. First came Abel, who cast his prized lamb deep into the fire. The flames swallowed it whole and emitted a great, triumphant roar.
Rawr.
God had accepted the gift, and now came Cain, who took his disgusting fruit and approached the fire, saying,
O Lord, I give to you this sacrifice, for you alone deserve its pungent scent. Is that good?
Ask him.
All right, who the fuck sent this? It would appear to be Cain, sir. Oh, he is so getting crucified.
God rejected Cain's offer and accepted Abel's, yet not all was lost. Cain could still pivot, take responsibility for his actions, and give up something of real value. Maybe an apple, perhaps some bread, or possibly a virgin.
That's me!
So Cain sat there and pondered what to do next. Should he make another sacrifice, or should he just blame everyone else for his failures?
Well, it can't be my fault. And the only people alive are... So it must be... Abel.
Cain proceeded to blame everyone but himself for his failed sacrifice. He blamed God, he blamed the trees, but most of all, he blamed Abel for making him look like a total dick in front of God. And from this misplaced hatred spewed hordes of new thoughts and fantasies, dark temptations and visions of revenge.
Murder the shepherd, spoil the seed, kill. Let's go get a donut.
Cain allowed these thoughts to fester, even indulging in them, as he hatched a plot to get revenge on his brother Abel for the crime of one-upping him. Cain would lure his brother away from their flock to an isolated, God-forsaken place where even the Lord himself dared not eavesdrop, and Cain would prepare to commit the first ever instance of murder.
Cain? Cain? Where are you?
Over here, Abel. Just like 2 more feet to the right.
I got your note, and I brought the maple syrup.
Come on, you.
That was surprisingly easy, but I am famished. Good thing he brought maple. Oh, it's got blood in it. Brunch is ruined.
Cain would kill Abel and forever stain his soul, yet he felt no remorse, no shame, no pity. But one emotion did exist, a tingling dread lurking just beneath the subconscious. It was fear. Fear for his own skin, his own fate, as Cain slowly realized the possible consequences of his actions. And once again, his mind twisted and turned in a torrent of fantastic fear fantasies, potential punishments, and terrible tortures delivered by God himself, when suddenly a great thunderous clap awoke him from his dreams. For it was the Lord, and he had but one question for Cain.
Cain, where is Abel? I don't know.
What's that?
That's, maple syrup?
Cain, I saw the whole thing. I'm God. I see everything.
Everything?
Everything.
You're sick.
God would confront Cain, asking him where Abel was.
What's this?
But Cain feigned ignorance, attempting to fool God. But the Lord is all-knowing and had seen the entire crime transpire. And as punishment, God would lay a curse upon Cain. All his future endeavors would fail, and he would become a wanderer, never to know peace, not even through death, as God would mark Cain as cursed, and if any man were to kill him, they would receive God's wrath. And from here, the line of Adam would forever be cursed, for all eternity, meaning you, and more importantly, me, are screwed.
Wait a minute. The earth is round?